What do you think about the concept of our seminar? So when people come on the seminar, they get some knowledge for free, and at the same time they donate money to some charity or to whomever they want.
The hottest thing going in the world, I think, is what is called cause-related charity. I mean, the guy that's the best at it is probably Paul Newman, where he made new dressing because he didn't like the dressing at a restaurant. All of his friends wanted it, so he wrapped it to sell it, and then he told his lawyer, let's make it and do the money to charity. And Newman's own, and he's given away $200 million to charity, and now they need $100 million more to take care of all the really sick kids. So instead of doing anything, he just started a Newman's own restaurant to do it. At the same level, inspired by that, and I teach in what's called residual philanthropy, where instead of giving once, you give again and again and again, just like residual income. We write a book and then we got paid 144 million times on it, and our goal is to get paid $1 billion on it, and we tie every one of my books to a charity before we write the book. So, and then we execute and deliver multiple millions to charities. I'm very thankful to say that I've talked my partner and my publisher into it. The fact of the matter is that we started the Mark Victor Hansen Foundation, and you can go to YouTube and type in Mark Victor Hansen. There's lots of videos. There's a video of our foundation party, and I hope I'm giving you the right number because I didn't really run it, but we charged people $150 to attend. They got to hear me talk. They got to dance at the night. They got to go to what a silent auction is, where we had everybody give stuff. Like the number one artist in the world is my best friend Wyland, and he gave us a giant painting. We sold it. We had sculptures from Iran. We had all kinds of people donated stuff. We sent out a letter for donation. They all sent stuff back, and everything was sold that night. And we earned a lot of money. So, I mean, a lot of money. And all that money in my foundation goes to one of four things. But I'll just tell you, number one, it goes to microcredit because my goal is very big and very outrageous and most people would say it's impossible, but working with like Muhammad Yunus and Grameen Bank and Unitas and Kiva.org, we want to handle the microcredit where they lend less than $100 to a woman, and 98.7% time they pay back. Lend to the next woman in 2 years, they employ 30 people. And Muhammad Yunus has lent money starting with $27 was his first loan, got paid back. He has now lent over $2 billion to 3,600,000 women and given jobs to 100 million. He's taken 10,000 beggars off the street and gotten them to stop begging. He just teaches. He said there's an entrepreneur in every one of you. So that money is going to stay in flow. And my goal is to get $100 times 1 million people a month. That's 100 million a month. And I'm going to have you help me. That's one of the 10 things. You said, how are you going to help me? You're going to help me raise all that money. See, that's $1 billion a year. Over the next 5 years, we end poverty. And when I was in India as a student ambassador, I was at Gandhi's house, and a wall as long as that, what we call frieze here, Gandhi said, poverty is the worst violence. Poverty denigrates a soul. It makes people less. And what you and I are about, and why people come to seminars, and why they'll pay to come to seminars, is because we turn on the switch of their potential. Now, potential, it linearly would be on 1 to 100, but I believe it's 360 degrees of potential. When I was just in a helicopter, we took pictures of a rainbow. Rainbows are always 360 degrees, but because we're on an Earth, while the Earth is round, it looks flat, we only see 180 degrees of the rainbow. Most human beings have only seen 180 degrees of their potential, so they're only half used. I just got done reading an article that I just emailed you from the New York Times about 300 Tibetan monks just ran 6-minute miles for 300 miles without stopping. And they concentrated on a distant point in their breathing, and they kept doing a mantra, so they're the fastest runners in history, 300 of them, and they concentrated on a distant point to see what the potential of a human being is. And what it says is the potential of a human being is basically inexhaustible because they ran straight through 300 miles at 6 miles a minute. That's very, very fast. The point, and because they didn't think about themselves. What you and I are about is waking up people's potential to something bigger than themselves. If we turned on the full potential of total humanity, that is 7 billion people alive, in the next 5 years it will be 10 billion people alive, because a lot of Asia is out of control, and Asia's birth rate is out of control, and I'm trying to help them with raising the kilowatt hours, lowers the birth rate. It doesn't work with birth control pills or anything else. So the exciting thing is that you and I are really dedicated to it. Now, the beautiful thing about seminars, and I'm answering in a very macro, a very big way, a mega way, is that when you take care of that, you and I are now, for the first time in history, meeting all the other speakers. in the old days, you know, there were American speakers and that was pretty much it. And now they're American and Asian and Russian and Slovenian and German. And I'm one of the only 3 guys on the planet, maybe, that know all of them. As far as I know, I'm the only guy on the planet other than you that wants all of us to get together, think together, work together, and really deliver the goods of turning on 100% of the potential. Now, the way you do that is you bring the people out because of the charity motive. Because of charity, it's going to take care of their charity. In my case, I said we're going to take care of, microcredit. We're going to take care of feeding the unfed with, feed the children with my dear friend Larry Jones. We're going to take care of getting rid of blindness with a Fawcett's Foundation. You know, for $5 to $25, we'll get rid of cataracts, and somebody that can't work and doesn't have Social Security in Bali or Indonesia or Pakistan or some parts of Russia, they can get the operation done and we'll do it. When you and I turn on all the potential, we're going to turn on all the skill sets of the whole planet. And the planet can literally be what the Bible had promised, which is a Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden was not a place, it was a physical place, probably in Pakistan, but at a bigger level, it was a concept of the whole world can be wonderful. The whole world can be paradise. I mean, here we are filming right now in Russia, and the Russians have been beautiful to you and I, and yet when I grew up, we were supposed to have animosity towards the Russians because they offered what was called a pink threat, which is now so silly and so ludicrous. And we need to get rid of all those threats and learn to live together by living together. That's what cause-related charity and speaking can do. It can turn on the potential of the humanity. It can turn on the potential of the charity. It can turn on the potential of giving. And when people are givers, they're higher level livers. They live at a higher level.
Uh-huh. Okay, Mark. What advice would you give to our mayor, Mr. Zoran Jankovic, who is our guest on the seminar?
I love the idea of getting to give advice to great politicians that want to be visionary leaders and have the most outstanding city in the new European free market and decide to make this a city that is blooming and wonderful and attractive and tourist inviting and business inviting. So my advice would be, make your city a low pressure zone that absolutely everybody wants to visit, that everybody wants to go to for the tourism, for the business, for the most attractive women in all of this part of the country, for the most amount of fun that can be had. And today the world is rich. We got a $50 trillion gross domestic product. Everybody wants to travel, but your country is one of the best kept secrets. Your city is one of the best kept secrets. So I'm asking you, Similian, to go shoulder to shoulder and back to back with the mayor, and you be the voice of tourism for your great city, for your great country, for this great area, because you are the one that's going to speak around the world. So what he needs to do is make you the ex officio ambassador for goodwill and generating tourist information, and have every company in your area invite in everybody to make yours the destination location that nobody knows about and not everyone's going to find out about, because you, with him, are going to be the spokesperson of this great city.
Wow, thank you.